A good general thing to think about as you progress through your career and have to go in for like cold reading and callbacks and all that kind of stuff. Because we did like a bunch of cold reading last time. Like,
Yes.
read this, read this, read this. Thank you. Super helpful. Thank you, kitty cat. And this is actually a sort of a rampant thing with your generation and the generation just a little bit above you.
Okay.
Is that starting? And I think it kind of came from like a Canadian influence, kind of like how we hear speak, but there's a lot of upspeak, right?
Okay.
Meaning that we don't really finish sentences. Like everything sounds like this lingering, non-ending, sort of lateral or like up kind of thing. So it's really good to say, not every playwright has this, but it's a really good thing to say, let's really honor the punctuation.
Right.
And by saying that, I mean like a period generally means down, like it's a statement, not a question.
Okay.
So it goes, so it's like, so like, for example, you would do things like, we haven't been best friends for a while, and it's so totally unfair you call me your best friend, that's so clearly not the case.
Yeah.
Okay. So clearly not the case.
Gotcha.
Let your voice go down at a statement. That's just a good kind of, and if it's a question mark, up if it's a question.
Right.
But and not to say that, and depending upon the role, if it's a real kind of like millennial sort of thing where it has that upspeak in its timbre, you can manipulate that. But generally, it's a good way to make a statement, a question.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that. And just so you know, maybe it'd be fun to explore this one day together.
Okay.
Is the playwright George Bernard Shaw, who wrote Pygmalion, which became My Fair Lady,
Okay.
Man and Superman, many plays like in the pre-1900s and stuff. It's great for an alternate classical piece that's not Shakespeare.
Right.
Shaw is fantastic.
Okay.
He was the only it was in his contract as a playwright. He was such a grammarian that he insisted contractually, you may not change one mark of my punctuation when reprinting my plays during my lifetime or afterwards, because what I intended is absolutely specific. So that's a great way to kind of master and dissect what I'm talking about, because once you understand Shaw's punctuation code, which you can then apply to other playwrights, and what that means for your voice and what that means for cadence and what that means for how to say it, you can literally cold read it. Even very complex text, but if you know that code, you're like, oh my god, it all made sense.
Okay.
So it's really, really useful.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's who are you going to use? Who's going to be your Laura? I always try to personalize stuff to you.
Yeah.
To go, who in my life makes me feel this way? Where am I with this? It's good to know like what's happening in the play.
Right.
But then also to say, to really bring it closer to me, and not have it just be in my imagination, but have it be really living in my fiber, and I'm really angry or I'm really hurt.
Of course.
How can I personalize that to me?
Yeah.
Did you think about that? Like how you relate to that?
Yeah. I have a friend right now who's like hanging out a lot more with another guy as opposed to me, and I have told her about it, and she's like, oh no, like you're still my best friend and stuff like that. So literally like kind of exactly the same thing.
Okay. So is this kind of where do you want to set it where you just recently had that conversation?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's a good place to kind of come from, And obviously, there's things we want to say, here's how it's very similar to me, and here's who I'm using, and then let's also dissect for yourself from reading this, how is it different from you?
Right. Well, obviously he feels alone more so than I feel alone.
Okay.
I have more people I can fall back on.
Okay.
And there's the whole marriage aspect too, which obviously my friends aren't getting married.
Right. And what else though about like as if you had lived with that person?
That's true. Yeah.
You've really spent years together, living together, and that's a whole different I've seen you like at first thing in the morning, late at night, like in our jammies, like really the best, the worst, teaming it together, helping you get dressed for a date, helping me get dressed for a date, like all that stuff we've done together. Okay. So it's kind of like what-ifing that up to the next level of intimacy and familiarity.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you ever done like sleepovers with her or anything kind of?
Yeah, we definitely had sleepovers and stuff.
Okay. So like have that be, what if you were living with that person for years and then that person started, and that was like, and if that person, which maybe was your past, was always like your go-to, like, hi, I have to talk to you about this, like all the time. Were you kind of the touchstone, like
Yeah.
a million times a day talking to those people?
Yeah.
Okay, and then it was kind of like those phone calls less and less, the texts less and less. So that's a real similarity.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to say, how does it make me feel? I'm feeling what? I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling
Or betrayed.
okay.
Pushed aside, I guess. Yeah, like second place.
Sad,
Yeah.
angry.
Yeah.
So I mean, so a good thing to say about that is, all right, these are all great, different colors to go from, okay, and we want to put all those different kinds of colors in it, so it's not one color, like just angry.
Right.
You know, we want to build and manipulate an audition piece to be slightly, maybe sometimes slightly differently from how a piece might be if you saw it in context of a play.
Yeah.
Because, like, let's say this is like his angry section, but then 2 scenes later he has a vulnerable scene. So, like, by the time you finish the play, you see all these colors in that actor and in that character.
Right.
But if this is all you get to do, we have to tweak the piece to make sure those different colors and choices pop out. So, if I only got to see one piece from you, I'd go, wow, what a versatile actor with a lot of interesting colors and choices in there, instead of he just does one thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so different ways to find some of those colors. Some of them can be instinctual. We'll find where the beat changes are, where the kind of tactic changes, or the feeling changes, or the situation or the topic changes, and that's a good time to change color. Yeah. Or another good thing to do is to just say, okay, one of the colors I am feeling in this is anger.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can just like read the whole thing angry, then read the whole thing sad, then read the whole thing like if you're saying I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. Do a pass, and then you'll find like, okay, these lines really locked with the sad. These lines really felt great with the angry, and that can help you start to try to where to put the colors.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so let's just see let's see what we have just instinct wise from it,
Okay.
and then where the colors change,
Okay.
and then if not, we can do the pass system.
Right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Right. We haven't been best friends in a while.
For a while.
For a while. We haven't been best friends for a while. It is so totally unfair to call me your best friend.
To
when
still
that is,
call me.
To still call me.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
okay. That's okay.
It is so totally unfair to still call me your best friend when that is so clearly not the case. Who's the first person you go to when you need someone? Right, Tony. We were best friends when we lived together, or when we spent every weekend together, or when we talked multiple times every single day, and it's...
And we don't do that.
And we don't do that anymore. Not even close. You wake up next to Tony, you fall asleep next to Tony, and when your mom pisses you off, you call Tony. But I haven't found someone to replace you. And all the things you got from our friendship, you get from Tony now. All the things...
Which is great.
Yeah. Oh, which is great.
That's a good flip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, because you see her like, going
Yeah.
like, oh shit, you're right, or whatever. Like, but
you're like,
you know,
yeah.
and that's, that is good. I'm glad you found a Tony. That's important, but you have to
Right.
also know that's why I'm feeling this way.
Right.
Because I just feel like, whew,
Yeah.
totally out in the cold, right?
Okay. Which is great, but all the things I got, things I really need, I'm not getting them from anyone. And then you tell me I'm your best friend, but it's so different. It's so different, and I feel so alone, Laura. Your wedding is my funeral. I'm happy for you, and that's all because all I've ever wanted is for you to be happy, but I never thought I wouldn't be part of that happiness somehow.
Good,
Yeah.
good. So, where are, let's break, what do you think the overall scene objective is? I want you to What are you trying? You're saying all this so that she does what?
Just so she understands how I'm feeling and so that she doesn't kind of pretend like everything's okay.
But ultimately, that she spends more time with you.
Yeah.
And like, not best friend in label, but best
Yeah.
friend in action.
Yeah.
Like, okay, because this is a really, really important thing, and a lot of people sort of stop at that. Like, I just want you to understand how I'm feeling.
Right.
And like, yeah, but so that they do what? Because it's
Yeah.
always really important, Dean, to like go, there's something really physical that I want from you. Like, I want to
Yeah.
see you actually come toward me and hug me. I want
Right.
to see you actually make me a promise that I will absolutely, we will talk 4 times a week. Like, something where it's like, it's going to be on the books
Right.
that if I want this to change.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for a change in somehow.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't always mean you're going to get it.
Of course.
That person may not be able to give it to you, but you're fighting for it. So never stop at so that you understand me.
Right.
Understand me so that you apologize to me. Understand me so that you hug me and promise you'll change your actions. Whatever that is. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Super important. So, and what would be the different ways? So let's say, so you understand me and spend more time with me?
Yeah.
Okay. And promise me you'll spend more time with me, or actually put like 3 days a week on the book, something where, and then every time I call you, you'll create time to take my call, or something like, and that could, you can kind of break it down to different ways, because that's
Right.
probably what he's really missing and really wanting, that touchstone, that like pick up the phone and that person's there and there's always a sounding board,
Yeah.
right? You need
Okay.
to like pinball through your day and be like, I can have to talk to you now, okay?
Yeah.
So then we want to break it down to what we call beats and actions. Okay? A beat is a topic change or a big thought change.
Right.
Okay? So, and an action is a tactic attached to that beat.
Okay.
Okay? Like an action. How am I going to get you
Mhm.
to make that promise to me that you will spend more time with me every week? One way may be like to guilt you into that.
Yeah.
One way may be to threaten you with an ultimatum so that you.
Okay.
One way to be like to make you feel really sad and empathetic to me. One way may be to like shock you. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
million ways like oh shit, I didn't know you were feeling that way. Like, yeah, I'm really freaking angry. Like,
Right.
why have you telling? Like, because I've been trying not to do this before your wedding, but like I'm exploding
Yeah.
or whatever. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's see. Why don't we do you have a pencil with you?
I have a pen. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Let's do a pencil because we might
Might.
be changing some
Yeah.
stuff. Okay.
Okay.
And this sort of a similar system that we're going through will be a great thing that we can kind of do with each thing coming down the pike. So
Right.
like in advance, let's start to like, when we can break down a piece, like come in like, I think the scene objective is this.
Yeah.
I think my beats are that. I'm feeling this. Here's what I want from this person.
Of course.
Okay. Songs and scenes. It's all the same stuff.
Okay.
So let's put a right angle where we feel like the thought or topic or beat changes. Let's just kind of go through and see where that is. And also, so here's like, let's just so you have this little system. I'll just write this on yours. Okay. So a right angle is a beat change. And small b period is baby beat, meaning we're going deeper into the same
Okay.
beat or topic via example. It's like me saying, you never call me anymore. There's the topic, and that'd be like, like last week on Saturday I called you and and you didn't do that. Also, I'm going
Right.
showing you examples of
Okay.
how you didn't call me. That's going into a baby beat.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
And then there's also going to be a thing called a key phrase, which is, I'll show you what that marking is. These are also things that we would use in cold reading if we ever want to break down a cold reading audition. You have a
Right.
callback, you have like to prep these sides. These are great ways to kind of mark through your script.
Okay.
So a key phrase is something where you go, if I had nothing else to say in this scene, and I can only say this one phrase. This encapsulates everything. It's what I want, how I'm feeling, what I want from you. There might be, well, like it could be like, your wedding is my funeral.
Yeah.
Might be one. Or, let's part of that happiness somehow. Maybe that's what like you'll find like there's gonna be something that goes, the bottom line, this is what this whole thing's about.
Right.
Not everything has one, but it's good to kind of know that's a big thing you want to land in the room, like,
right. Okay.
you feel that hitting like an anvil right on the floor. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's look at where we think that is.
Okay.
We haven't been best friends for a while. It's so totally unfair to call me your best friend, but that is so clearly not the case. Then I would say, baby beat.
Yeah.
Because it's like she's going like, oh, that's not true. It's like, okay, I'll go by example. I'm going to prove to you that that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go deeper into why I think that's true. So I would say BB here. Now, what do you think your first tactic is to make you blank so that you spend more time with me?
To make her feel bad.
Feel guilty?
Yeah.
Or maybe even, to feel bad, maybe to awaken you,
Mm-hmm.
like to kind of like it's almost like to shock you or to awaken you. Like, no, listen. I don't know why you're thinking it's this. This is the truth.
Yeah.
Like wake up and really, this is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying this label, but it's not. It's only a label. It's like speak without any action.
Right. Okay.
So, what would you say? To shock you, let's say, or awaken you. And what do you think? So let me also on the back. Let's just. I'll give you this like an action. This is like a tactic phrase. We always want to, because in addition to saying this whole pieces at the end, like is I want you to promise to be my best friend, and I know that you would do that by the thing you verbally say, and maybe also that you would physically hug me.
Yeah.
And say, oh babe, I'm so sorry. Like that's ultimately what you want. You want that kind of that best friend reconnection.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
With each tactic, look, there's a physical result. There's always something you can tell if it's working or not.
Yeah.
Okay? Like
okay.
if she was being shocked or something, how would you know that was happening physically on her?
She'd probably have a surprised look.
Yeah, like so you raise your eyebrows.
Yeah.
And go and say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Or something, and apologize.
Yeah.
So I would say to make you. So here's our little formula.
Yeah.
We want to fill this in with each beat. Okay. To make you blank, and that would be an emotional state. Happy, sad, surprised.
Right.
Okay. So that you, and there's a physical result. Like raise your eyebrows,
Mm-hmm.
or like gasp, and your scene objective, which is promise to like stay in more connection with me. Promise to connect as friends more. Let's see, apologize. I'd say apologize and promise.
Okay.
Okay, so to make you feel a certain way, and I know you are feeling a certain way because it'd be something physical that I know is going on with you,
Right.
and that's going to be a way to like, from that you're hoping, all I have to say is this, and you'll be like, oh babe, I'm sorry, I'm not going to hug you.
Right.
But she does it.
Right.
So you have to keep going with different ways and different tactics to get her to do it.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And that's ways also by really changing tactics that builds in the different strategies and different colors that are emotional, rather than it's a one color, one thing of like generally complaining or something. You know what I mean? Okay.
Okay.
Good. So, what would you like, if you were to say, let's say the shock tone, if you were trying to shock somebody,
Yeah.
what would your tone be? Like say, like talk to your friend. Who's the girl who's your real friend?
Emma.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're gonna talk to Emma. Emma's Laura, right?
Right.
So you're like, oh, wake up, Emma.
Yeah.
Like, hi, you know, buzzkill or whatever, or
Yeah.
newsflash, we're not bad. Do you know that? Are you realize that? Wake up.
Right.
Like that might be. I'm not saying that's how you have to do it. But
Yeah.
I'm saying that would be like, you know, I'm awakening you. Hi.
Okay.
Do you really think that? Wake up. It's not that.
Right.
Like to rattle her or something.
Yeah.
So talk to Emma. How would you say that if you wanted to, like, to shock her and wake her up?
I'd probably just be like, you're being really selfish right now. Like, you need to think about other people other than yourself. I don't know.
How about if you're less polite about it?
Yeah.
Because remember, look at what you end up with.
Yeah.
Your wedding is my funeral.
Yeah.
So that's a very big statement to say at this person's, like, night before.
Right.
Or whatever. That's huge. So
Yeah.
that means there's something you're sitting on a long time that is, like, breaking through at this point.
Yeah.
So don't necessarily be polite. This is kind of like an 11 o'clock moment for this person. It's near the end of the play. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Like, what do you say, like, how can you say that?
I don't know.
Start with how can you say that, Emma?
How could you say that, Emma? I mean, I don't know. It's just difficult for me because I don't think, because me personally, I know I should get over it, but like, I just would never be like rude to somebody, you know?
Right.
That I had that connection with.
But maybe that's the difference between him and her.
Right.
And also look at this. This is the sort of the last straw.
Mm-hmm.
This person's gotten married. That person's gotten married. This dude at work. Have you had a chance to read the play yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So you need to read the play.
Yes.
To kind of like get the run of it. Okay. And get a sense of like, this is the end of the play where, and now my ground zero best friend, who's always like been my partner in crime through all the other stuff in a way, is now not there for me anymore.
Right.
I'm really alone, and there's no like second B team banana to go to because those people are married and they're not. They have.
Yeah.
So and this one guy at work, it's like I don't really like him enough to talk to him. He's kind of flaky, and then this person I had a crush on isn't into me.
Right.
And I have no one to talk to about it.
Right. Okay.
So, like, Emma, I really need you right now. Do you understand that? I need you. I know you're in the middle of this, but it's like you don't understand how much I need you.
Yeah.
And I'm so alone, and you say you're my best friend, it's like, oh my god, best friend? Like, so that's a trigger. It's like, I wish we were.
Right.
Like, that's where it's starting. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like, you've had it. Like, you're at this point. So what if it was that exasperated?
Right. I mean, you sit there and you tell me, you're like, you sit there and you say that we're close, you know, and you sit there and you say all these things to make me feel better and to feel better about myself, about my future, and just everything that's going on, but yet you don't sympathize with me, and you sit there and you just go off with other people, and you don't care. You pretend like you do, and you think that you do, but you don't.
Great. Start this play. Start it. That's the vibe. Go.
Right. We haven't been best friends for a while. And it's so totally unfair to call me your best friend when that is so clearly not the case. Who's the first person?
So then he's like, that's not true. That's like, that's not true. It's like, that's not true? Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh yeah? Let me get in there with you.
Right.
So now we're going deeper into that to prove her. So now I would say to confront you, to make you admit that this is the case.
Right.
Okay, so I would say like to force you to admit. Put this in as a mini tactic. What I also want you to think about
Mm-hmm.
is to match, like when you were just kind of improvising, that was sensational. That was a great, like, did you feel that? Like,
Yeah.
That's where this piece starts. So whatever you did in terms of your own sort of prep trigger,
Mm-hmm.
think about that.
Right.
Or as stuff evolves with Emma and let's say it gets worse or
Right.
whatever, like, bummer for your personal life, but
Yeah.
great for your acting life to kind of like
course.
use this as like a little, bag of tricks to pull out. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So, when you were doing that improvisation, you weren't kind of like half smiling.
That's
When
true.
you start the monologue, you kind of like,
Yeah.
you do that. So I
Okay.
would say go to the when you're being really truthful and like your heart's open, you're not like masking it with something.
Right. Okay.
Okay?
Alright. We haven't been best friends for a while. It is so totally unfair to call me your best friend when that is so clearly not the case.
It's not the truth. It's I'm your best friend.
Who's the first person you go to when you need someone?
Tony.
Right, Tony. We were best friends when we lived together, when we spent every weekend together, when we talked multiple times every single day, and we don't do that anymore.
Great. Now,
Mm-hmm.
an opportunity for a cool color.
Okay.
If you're getting reminiscent, now like to make you reminisce
Mm-hmm.
how precious and how great those times we were together, not just for me, but for you,
Right.
for us. So I would say, like, to reach out and to make her reminisce
Yeah.
until we don't do that anymore.
Right.
So that's an interesting, like, hey, remember when it was this and it was, oh, it was such great times. It was this, it was this, it was this.
Mm-hmm.
Switch.
Okay.
We don't do that anymore. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That could be an interesting yo-yo
Okay.
tactic. So I would say to make you reminisce and smile or warm up and smile and remember,
Right.
right? And the things why I'm saying it to make you this is like it's a thing you can actively work on as you work on it in your mind's eye with like what, because remember the other half of everything that we ever do with a song or a scene, everything, I'm just gonna say a song or a monologue, everything is a scene.
Right.
What you're always concentrating on, what is the other person doing right now? What are they saying back to me right now that has me say the next thing?
Mm-hmm.
That helps strategize. So it's like it's almost just as important to memorize what the other person's doing, and that's what's on your front burner. Knowing what they're doing and like, how's it going? Are you gonna reminisce right now? Come on, reminisce. You're not. Okay, well then I'm gonna change tactics and like, I'm gonna confront you or whatever, and like back you against the wall so you shout at me and admit it then.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like in real life. That's how we work.
Yeah.
How we pay attention and decide what to say next is like based on what we're seeing the other person do, whether it's working or not working. We like recalculate what we're going to say next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So from where?
So take it from. How can you say that? That's not true. All right. Who's the first person you go
Okay.
to? That's not true.
Who's the first person you go to when you need someone?
Well.
Right, Tony.
Yeah.
When we were best friends, when we lived together, or when we spent every weekend together, or when we talked multiple times every single day.
I love that.
We don't do that anymore. Not even close.
So if she said, we don't do that anymore. Well, yeah. Like if you started to say, well, yeah, we. Not even close.
Right.
So if she starts to go, well, I try to call you. I'm like, come on,
Yeah.
admit it.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like if you heard hers give you a little something, it earns not even close.
Yeah.
It makes
Okay.
you say it. Okay.
Okay.
So play off of me for a second. I'll be
Okay.
Emma, right?
Okay. So from where?
So take it from who's the first person? Say place.
Right. Who's
That's not true. I'm your best friend.
Who's the first person you go to when you need someone? Right. Tony.
Yeah. Well, he's my fiance.
When we were best friends, when we lived together, or when we spent every weekend together, or when we talked multiple times every single day, and
Yeah.
we don't do that anymore.
Well,
Not even close.
What do you want
You
from
wake up next to Tony, and you fall asleep next to Tony, and when your mom pisses you off, you call Tony.
Now, Now, what's that line about?
About
The mom.
Oh. Yeah. Remove the zero cost from me. Just like, yeah, we don't share like personal stuff anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this is something you know about her.
Right.
And this is one of the things she'd be like, "Oh my God, you know what she just said to me? I just had to hang up on her because like I'm not calling her until Monday because I just want to kill her." And you're like, you talk her off the ledge or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
She talks you off the ledge or whatever. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that history right there.
Right.
Waking up and going to sleep is one thing, but it's like, okay, and when your mom pisses you off,
Mm-hmm.
like we know she does, now who do you call?
Right.
Tony and not me. That was my place. That was my job, was talking you off the ledge from your mom.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like, drilling down further into it.
Yeah.
Like, again, to maybe, like, proving something that's very sort of sacrosanct to you guys is now been displaced.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
It's more than just like waking up, going to sleep because it is your fiance. Of course, you're going to sleep with that. You probably never slept together. You probably did like, you know, in the same bed if you wanted to. Some nights or fell asleep on the couch or whatever. But it's not like you sleep together every night.
Yeah.
But, so, to admit this, to me admit this precious job of mine.
Okay.
And then let's just while we're here, I'm about to do it again. What's another kind of little tactic or another feeling we can put in after that line?
For the but I haven't found
Yeah.
Definitely kind of defeat in a sense, and just sadness, and you know, like I don't have anyone like I had you.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just need that sound. I just need that sounding board. So I think it's like there's a desperation, there's an exasperation,
Mm-hmm.
and deep sadness.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of feeling like, all right, I've talked to myself about it.
Mm-hmm.
I have no sounding board.
Right.
So maybe to make you tear up to make you commiserate
Mm-hmm.
and tear up.
Right.
That could be a good little tactic.
Yeah.
And for now, we're not necessarily worried about time.
Right.
It's great to kind of like take your time and really allow however long it takes for you to like be in that moment,
Yeah.
sit into it, and then, you know, but you know what, I haven't found anyone
Mm-hmm.
to replace you.
Right.
So I just sit in the sadness.
Okay.
You see, instead of like, I have to be like,
Yeah.
Because ultimately I'm going to say this too, Dean.
Mm-hmm.
It's always better to talk less and act more. They're like, I have to get all this text in. I don't have time to actually live the moment. They're looking to see you connect to whatever you say.
Okay.
That's a minute long or a minute and a half long.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'd rather you say 7 lines and go through the cornucopia of feeling than speak 60 lines and just kind of like race the clock.
Yeah.
And skate over it with one color. Because you're just panicked about
Yeah.
time. Like, my one color is panic about the clock. You
Yeah.
feel that. You know, it's like, no, all right?
Yeah.
Good. So,
Okay. So from we were best friends?
yeah.
Alright. Well, we were best friends when we lived together, or when we spent every
Look
to
at
you.
me.
Okay. We were best friends when we lived together, or when we spent every weekend together, or when we talked multiple times every single day, but it's not like that anymore. Or we don't do that anymore. And we don't do that anymore.
Hey, look,
Not even close.
Well, you're right.
You wake up next to Tony, and you fall asleep next to Tony.
Well, he's my fiance.
And when your mom pisses you off, you call Tony.
Well,
But I haven't found someone to replace you. And all the things that you got.
Good. Make this point right here. She's found someone to replace you.
Right.
But I haven't found someone to replace you.
Yeah.
Like you found, like that's the other half of the, you have found someone to replace me. I haven't found someone to replace you.
Right. Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? Use your pronouns there,
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
I and you.
Okay.
Instead of, I haven't found someone to replace you. Because she has. Like, I missed the comparison. You're saying,
Yeah.
because you're saying Tony, Tony, Tony. And you're saying, but I haven't. I don't have a Tony.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So from where?
I love where you went with that emotion. How did that feel?
Good.
The elevator got there. It was great.
Yeah. From where?
I'll take it from, and when your mom pisses you off,
Okay.
what do you, yeah.
Okay. And when your mom pisses you off,
Huh.
you call Tony. But
Yeah.
I haven't found someone to replace you. And all the things you got from our friendship, you get from Tony now. Which is great, but all the things I got, things I really need, I'm not getting them from anyone. And then you tell me I'm your best friend, and it's so different. It's so different. And I feel so alone, Laura.
Is that a key phrase?
Yeah.
That's a key phrase.
Yeah.
If you had nothing else to say,
Definitely.
isn't that the
yeah.
bottom line? Yeah. I would say so. It's like, I would say the key phrase starts with, you tell me I'm your best friend, but it's so different, so different, and I feel so alone, Laura. I feel like that is the bottom line. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Good, now.
Okay.
Great, Dean. So now, with every kind of, take your time to to go, like, ask yourself, like, I feel so, like, what? I feel so alone. Like, let yourself go into the feeling and choose how you want to label something. Let yourself find it.
Right.
From how you're feeling, rather than like, I've decided this, I'm going to report it on you.
Yeah.
I think it's a thing that maybe you didn't necessarily expect to come here and confront her on, but it's something that that kind of comes out from in the moment. So I think it's not like, okay, I've come in with this. Sometimes you come in with this speech like guns loaded.
Yeah.
I have to tell you that I'm here to confront you on this. I think it's it's your best friend's wedding, so you don't want to like. Let me bring you down and ruin your day. Like, I don't think that you came here to do that. I think it just kind of like comes out of trying not to say it, having those feelings, coming to it with dread.
Yeah.
But then it just kind of comes out because you have this moment alone with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it got to the point where she says, it's her bachelorette party. She's like, well, then don't come to my wedding. You know what I mean? That's really where. And look what he says. And why aren't I a bridesmaid? What? If I'm so important, why am I not standing up there next to you? My sister's my bridesmaid, and your cousin.
Yeah.
It's like I should be a bridesman or whatever. I should be on your team.
Yeah.
Like, what we're starting also is like even further proof. I'm not even up there on your list. I'm not even your group.
Right. I'm not even. Okay.
We're making it less angry so that we bring in more vulnerable colors, obviously, because we're tweaking the 4 or 5 colors we want to bring out of it, right? But don't be afraid, there's parts of it that are just ballistic anger, too.
Yeah.
Because look at what happens after that. Like, that earns some of the anger choices in it.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Okay.
You can see, like, how exasperated and fed up you are, and you're like, oh yeah, prove it, like, bullshit, because da-ka-da-ka-da-da-da-da, right?
Right.
All right.
Okay.
So, I think maybe this might be, if any part of this were to bring you close to tears, into your wedding is my funeral, like this section might be, I think, your most open, vulnerable color.
Right.
Because I think he's just kind of like opening his heart and speaking the truth. He's not like testing, he's not trying to prove it a different way, he's just laying it out. Like, here's what I'm really feeling.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think there's a safe enough zone with your very best friend that you probably have cried together with. She's cried with you. Like, you know, it's not like I can't be emotional with you. Of course I can.
Yeah.
That's what I miss.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. So from where?
So, but I haven't found someone to replace you.
Alright. But I haven't found someone to replace you. And
Say I and you. But I haven't found someone to replace you. Like, feel how you do if you were pointing to yourself.
But I haven't found someone to replace you.
I didn't replace you.
All the things you got from our friendship, you get from Tony now. And that's great, but all the things I got, things I really need, I'm not getting them from anyone. And then you tell me I'm your best friend, and it's so different. It's so different, and I feel so alone, Laura. Your wedding is my funeral. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you, and because all I've ever wanted is for you to be happy. But I never thought I wouldn't be part of that happiness somehow.
Good, use the word part. I never thought I would be part of that happiness.
Okay. I never thought I wouldn't be part of that happiness somehow.
Good. And so if I ask you to stress a word and say like use this word, I'll show you if you underline the word and put an arrow up before it, like, which literally means pitch up, part of that happiness.
Okay.
Okay? And if I say part of that happiness, if we have like arrow up on part but underline part and happiness, you know that's going to be words we want to weight. But if we just want, a good thing to ask, and this is very important for classical theater.
Okay.
Everything, of course, but it comes up a lot in classical theater, is you always want to stress in your speaking what is new that I'm laying on the table. If something is already in the air or on the table, and we're repeating it, only stress what's new and let go of the repeat. Okay. So for example, what's already in the air? Happiness. I ever wanted you to be happy. That's already on the table. What's new? I just never thought I wouldn't be part of that happiness.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of part of that happiness. And what that does is it's easier to act because it kind of just streamlines. Here's the point I'm making with this line instead of I'm making these multiple points and kind of rehashing it. It feels kind of like pounded or clunky, and our ear doesn't know what to listen to.
Right.
And like, here's the simplistic point. I want you to be happy, but I never thought that I wouldn't be part of that happiness. Part of the thing I've already talked about.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi, pal. This is great. How does that feel? It's really taking a nice shape.
Yeah.
Really nice shape. So let's look at what this it. And to earn your wedding is my funeral. So your wedding. Take your time to really find the second half of that line.
Yeah.
I have a cat butt in my face. And maybe that's a different change of color, too. Is that the most vulnerable thing you say? Or does that have anger in it? Does that have, what do you feel?
That definitely, sadness in it a lot, too.
Uh-huh.
A little bit of anger, because, the whole point is, like, all of his friends are getting married, so he's like, your wedding specifically is my funeral, because you're the last one.
Ah.
Yeah.
And also, I think that, not just that, but this particular friendship.
Yeah.
I think it's like the death
right.
of this friendship, because it's like, pretty soon you're gonna have kids, and I'm never gonna see you. You'll like,
Yeah.
I'll come over for Thanksgiving, you know, and play with the kids. You'll be like Uncle, you know, Uncle Jordan, but you're not gonna be really like, oh my God, how am I change the diaper? Oh my God, let's do this together. Take me to mommy and me. Like, you know, are you, aren't you? It just sounds like this weird things with other mothers who are also having kids, and they all share stuff together. It just like floats away, you know?
Yeah.
So, really find the second half of that funeral part. Your wedding is my funeral,
Yeah.
which would be like to her,
Right.
as a stab, you know, and then I think she has to be like, and you realize, like, you know, is she in her engagement party gown, and you realize like, oh fuck, I'm totally ruining your day.
Yeah.
So I think the quick beat, like, I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
So that's a fun, interesting comic turn.
Yeah.
Not that he's trying to be funny. He's just trying to like, not have her mascara run. Be like,
Yeah.
go have the toast with your dad now. And
Right.
it was like, you know, like decimated.
Okay.
'Cause I think ultimately you don't want her to have like the worst day of her life. But you want her to not incorrectly label or falsify what the label is between you.
Yeah.
So don't say we're best friends because a best friend does this, this, and this, and we have not been doing that. We did have that, and God, I miss it. But right now, it's not that. So there's also part of the like, you know, the stab.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So
Let's take it from your key phrase again. You know, your but all the things I got, things I really need.
Yeah.
And you can even take that time, you know, things I got, things that I really need.
Yeah.
You know, like, again, find that, like, feel it, and like, shit, oh my God, I really need this. Like,
Yeah.
you'll feel it inside your heart.
Okay.
Make you say that.
But all the things I got, things I really need, I'm not getting them from anyone. And then you tell me I'm your best friend, and it's so different. It's so different. And I feel so alone, Laura. Your wedding, it's my funeral.
Oh my God.
I'm happy for you. Because all I've ever wanted is for you to be happy.
And that's a good thing to also have. This is a moment of true sincerity, maybe. Like, listen.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know that all I ever wanted for you is that's absolute truth. Like, that's my heart connection to you too.
Yeah.
Instead of like, it's not. Don't say it necessarily qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's a time again to be totally honest with that moment
Yeah.
and go boom, right?
Okay. I'm happy for you. Because all I've ever wanted is for you to be happy. I never thought I wouldn't be part of that happiness somehow.
Good. Now, let's be careful of unconsciously smiling.
Yeah.
If you're in the center of a sad emotion, as opposed to like always half covering it with smiles. Like there's times you can be
Right.
being kind of like flippant or, you know, sarcastic or covering it like, oh sure, that'd be great or something. You're angry with a little smile
Right.
because like there's flippancy to it, right?
Mhm.
The other times it's like open heart and I'm like, you know, really, I'm deeply sad right now. I'm truly be deeply sad, not sad with a little
Yeah.
ingratiating sarcasm smile. Be
Right.
careful, because that's where the colors don't become distinct and they all like meld into general
Gotcha.
flippancy or something, or like you're not, you know, I'm hurting but only this much, you know,
Yeah.
like let it really be truthful. Like,
Okay.
okay, let's try the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Got it.
Play off of me. Now,
Okay.
the opening of each piece,
Mhm.
songs during the intro, there's always a 3-step system. Let's throw it on the back.
Okay.
Or you can make it, you know, if you want to make separate notes, whatever, but just know that
Yeah.
everything we're doing has to have a 3 steps that are the opening beat, and 3 steps that are the closing beat, okay? The first step of the open, and they're kind of bookends to each other, like they're similar on oppositions on either side of the opening and the closing, okay?
Yeah.
So the first step of the opening beat is the other person says or does something to you.
Right.
In a really concrete line, right? Like really hear Emma say something, right? And we'll find out what that is. Second step is you physicalize the reaction you have to that. Like you really think the thought and put that physically in your body. So if she was saying, you know, like, you know that, you know, you are my best friend, you really are. Let's say that was part 1.
Yeah.
What would you, hi boo boo, what would you say to that? Like, that would, and part 2, your inner thought, part 2, leads you directly into, like continuously into the first line. That's part 3. The part 3, step
Right.
3 is the actual first line you say.
Right.
So like I would, like, for me, I would say, you know, you are my best friend. And you're like, oh, come on. You are. Step 2. Are you freaking kidding me? We haven't been best friends for a while.
Yeah.
It's like, are you freaking kidding me? And I would go like, what is my body doing when I actually say, are you freaking kidding me out loud? Like, are you freaking kidding me? We haven't been best friends for a while.
Yeah.
So then I go, and then part 2 is like, hear her say it. You know, you're my best friend. You are. Like, almost say it silently or really hear it at volume 11 in your head and retain the physicality that your body's doing it while you're saying the thought.
Yeah.
We haven't been best friends for a while. So the opening beat,
Okay.
like there's already a whole life that's happening before you speak. And that earns your speaking. We come in, the scene is starting, and then you speak.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't
Yeah.
just like come out of nowhere.
Right.
You
Okay.
know? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I would say, yeah. Alright, and then the first line. Closing beat, the other end. Step 1 of the closing beat is the last line you say.
All right.
Step 2 is noticing the other person's reaction. Like, what do they do or say when you say that last line?
Right.
And step 3 is your physicalized reaction to their reaction. So at the end, I never thought I wouldn't be part of that happiness somehow. Now, here we're going into a deeper conversation, it's a confrontation. But let's, for the purposes of this, I think we should come to some sort of resolve so we know by your reaction how it landed on her.
Yeah.
Like, does she say, I don't know what to say, or I'm so sorry, Jordan? Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Probably sorry. Yeah.
Or I'm so sorry, or is that how you really feel? I'm so sorry, is that how you really feel?
Yeah.
That's how I really feel, babe. Yeah. What do you, can you not eat the buttons off my shirt, please? Okay. So let's, or, you know, and I would say the thing that plugs in and continues, like the biggest resolve, like does she, what are you fighting for? You're fighting for her to apologize and to make a new plan, like,
Yeah.
you know, you are part of my happiness, I promise I'll call you. Like you'd say, what would you say to that? It's a closing. We could try different closing beats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm so sorry, of course, well, you will be in my life a lot more. I will change that. What would you say?
Probably. Yeah. Right.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
that's
okay,
the
yeah,
key.
okay, yeah, right, could be a reaction,
Yeah.
or, really? Or, you see what I'm saying,
Yeah.
like, promise, you know, that could
Yeah.
be, that's valid, I mean, there's a million things that can happen,
Yeah.
right? We wanna know that it comes to some sort of closure, that doesn't end kind of open and,
Yeah.
it ends with like, even if she goes, well, I can't give that to you. Like, I'm sorry, but he's my fiance and he's gonna be my husband.
Right.
as that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like there's a million things that could
Yeah.
be a conclusion. Depends on the conclusion we want to
Yeah.
create.
Okay.
So you understand? We're going to find out. We're just going to we'll play with a bunch of different things. All right. So now,
Okay.
here we go. So it's to opening B,
All right.
and I want you to say step 2 out loud. Whatever this makes you feel, that would lead you into. We haven't been best friends for a while. The thought that would lead you into that. Step
Right.
2 into 3. Okay.
Okay.
Jordan, listen. You are my best friend. You are. You are really my best friend.
I'm kidding.
What?
We
Why
haven't been best friends in a while.
That's not true. That's
It
unfair.
is so totally unfair to still call me your best friend when that is so clearly not the case.
How can you say that? I am
Who's
absolutely.
the first person you go to when you need someone? Right, Tony. When
So, like, you know. Well. You know, like, look for the answer. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Look for the
Okay.
answer, and really confront her. Like, okay,
Mhm.
let's do a little test. This is
Yeah.
this is the test beat. All right. I'm gonna test you. Who's the first person now that you call when you need someone?
Right.
Right. Tony. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, take your time to, like, suss it out and prove to her. Take it down with proof that she has to, like, go, oh shit, fuck, you're right, I don't
Yeah.
follow you anymore.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So look for the answer. You ask a question, look for the answer.
Gotcha. Okay. So from where?
So start at the top.
Okay.
Listen, you are my best friend.
Are you
You
kidding
are-
me?
What?
We haven't been best friends in a while.
What are you talking about?
It is so totally unfair for you to call me your best friend when that is so clearly not the case.
But you are my best friend. That's untrue.
Who's the first person you go to when you need someone? Right, Tony. When we were best friends, when we lived together, or when we spent every weekend together, or when we talked multiple times every single day, and we don't do that anymore.
Well, I try to call.
Not even close. You wake up next to Tony, fall asleep next to Tony,
Yeah. Well,
and when your mom pisses you off, you call Tony.
that's true.
But I haven't found someone to replace you.
So use those pronouns. So
Oh, yeah.
underline I, underline you, and put arrow ups before each of those words.
Okay. Alright. But I haven't found someone to replace you. And all the things you got from our friendship, you get from Tony now. Which is great, but all the things I got, things I really need, I'm not getting them from anyone. And then you tell me that I'm your best friend, and
But you are. I mean,
and it's so different. It's so different, and I feel so alone, Laura. Your wedding
yeah.
is my funeral.
How could you say?
I'm happy.
Oh my
I'm
God.
happy for you, and all I've ever wanted is for you to be happy.
So I would hear in your head. No, listen. Wait,
Yeah.
listen. I'm happy for you. Cause like you see me go like, oh my God. So you're like, oh shit. Her mascara's gonna run. I'm gonna ruin her day. Wait, listen.
Right.
Listen, honey. I am happy for you.
Yeah.
Because all I have ever wanted has been your happiness. I swear to God, that's all. Like all the shit we went through together, like was, how can we make each other happy? And we're our support systems to our happinesses, right? Individual happinesses. But I thought that I'd always be part of that. I just want to always be part of that circle of our growing happiness. And now I'm like, not.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're happy or not. I don't know how your day was.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's the delineation. So really, like, grab me and hold me, and turn me back to you, and console me there, to console you, so that you
Right.
apologize or whatever, or make this to console you. That would be like, you know, you have to also let her know that you're still there as a support, as opposed to You're not casting her aside. You're trying to rope her back in to be that equal support, right?
Right.
Yeah, to communicate it. All right, so take it from your wedding.
Your wedding is my funeral. I'm happy for you. And all I've ever wanted is for you to be happy. I never thought I wouldn't be part of that happiness somehow.
Sorry.
I hope so.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, really, really nice. See if there's more time
Yeah.
that you can look at me and connect with me. I
Okay.
think there's times that you are uncomfortable and you have to look away.
Yeah.
But remember, you always want to see is like, are you getting this? Is this working?
That's true. Okay.
Because you want to see if your stuff is working, and if you're too much like sharing your feelings but not looking,
Yeah.
it's like I could be on the phone or I could be like in my car rehearsing this.
Okay.
You know, like I'm going to say this to her, I'm going to say this to her, instead of like I'm in the room with you, and I want to see if this is like bringing you back to our friendship, instead of what this fake label is right now.
Right.
Let's reopen the floodgates of our real friendship, right?
Right.
Okay, so try this again. Keep connecting it to me, right?
Okay. It's mine.
Sure. Babe, I don't know what your problem is. You are my best friend. You are. You are my best friend. You always have been. What's so funny?
kidding
What?
me?
What do you mean? What?
We haven't been best friends for a while.
How can you say that?
It is so totally unfair for you to call me your best friend when that is so clearly not the case.
How can you say?
Who's the
what?
first person you go to when you need someone?
Tony.
Right, Tony. We were best friends when we lived together, or when we talked multiple times every single day, or when we spent every weekend together.
Love that.
But we just don't do that anymore. Not even close.
Listen. I'm trying to give you a lot.
You wake
and
up
this is-
next to Tony, you fall asleep next to Tony, and when your mom pisses you off, you call Tony.
It's true.
But I don't have anyone to replace you.
I don't have anyone to replace you.
Yeah, okay. But I don't have anyone to replace you. And all the things you got from our friendship, you got from Tony now. Which is great. But all the things I got, things I really need, I'm not getting them from anyone. And then you tell me I'm your best friend. And it's so different. And I feel so alone, Laura.
Careful smiling. Don't smile.
And I feel so alone, Laura.
That's it.
Your wedding is my funeral.
How could you? Oh my God! How can you call
I'm-
this? If
I'm
you're my
happy
best friend.
for you. All I've ever wanted is for you to be happy.
So like, really calm me down.
Okay.
Like with this line, if you see me restless, you have to like steady me and go like, listen,
Okay.
listen to me, listen to me. Okay.
Okay.
That was great. Your wedding.
Okay. Your wedding is my funeral.
How can you come to this thing and you don't want to even?
I'm happy for you.
Well, listen,
I'm happy for you, and all I've
Well-
ever wanted is for you to be happy.
So okay. If I was that restless, you be that restless. Let's
Okay.
make sure what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Like you know, that was like a stab in my heart, and like I'm almost in like fuck you mode for
Right.
saying that to me tonight.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really kind of like, then don't come. That's
Yeah.
really kind of where we are, right? So,
Mhm.
go ahead.
All right.
So, your wedding is my funeral.
How could you say that?
No, listen. Keep going. Like,
Oh.
you know, like, fuck you.
How could
know.
you say that? Like this is
No, listen,
literally
listen,
my.
I'm happy with you. I'm happy for you. Listen, listen. All I ever wanted for you, listen, is to be happy. That's really. I just always thought that I'd be, you know, part of that somehow. and I'm not, and that's the problem. Do you see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
to get through there at the end because of her reaction. Like, have it be harder to bring her back, because ultimately you crossed the line with what you said in a way.
Yeah.
And that's not going to get you back to being best friends, which is what you really want. That's your scene objective. You realize you screwed up.
Yeah.
By her reaction, because her volunteer,
Yeah.
Okay. And I think let's start this with more confrontational anger.
Okay.
So that we have a harder color that then opens up to a more vulnerable color. We have a bigger switch.
Okay.
Okay, so start at the top again.
Alright.
You are my best friend. I love you so much.
Are you kidding me?
What are you talking about? You are my best friend.
We haven't been best friends in a while.
What?
It is so totally unfair for you to call me your best friend when that is so clearly not the case.
Of course it is.
Who's the first person you go to when you need someone?
Right.
Tony.
It was my fiance. Of course it was.
We were best friends when we lived together, or when we spent every weekend together, or when we talked multiple times every single day.
I love that.
And we don't do that anymore.
Well, I do call
Not even close. It's, you wake up next to Tony, you fall asleep next to Tony, and when your mom pisses you off, you call Tony. But I haven't found someone to replace you. And
let the loneliness and the sadness sit in.
all the things you got from our friendship, you get from Tony now. And all the things I got,
Do you need that?
things I really need, I'm not getting them from anyone.
Babe, I don't know what to say.
And then you tell me I'm your best friend, but it's so different. It's so different. I feel so alone, Laura. Your wedding
What?
is my funeral.
Hey, come on. That is out of line.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. And all I've ever wanted is for you to be happy. It's just, I never thought I wouldn't be part of that happiness somehow.
If you were to keep talking, what would you say?
I just want things to go back to what they were.
Part of that happiness somehow. Maybe it's even like, and I don't know. Yeah, I think it's bad. I want things to go back. Do you feel like, honestly, right now, that's possible, given the situation? Like, what is the kind of compromise that could be on the table?
I feel like maybe, like, I know, like, there's no way it can't go back.
We're not going to be living together. I'm not going to be suddenly like, oh, the couple and me are sharing an apartment, which happens sometimes too,
Yeah.
But they're going to be living at Tony's or something. Like, they're going to have their own life, right? So, how can you qualify that in your closing beat? Like, and I never thought I would be part of that happiness somehow. I know it can't be the way it was, but I need to be closer. I just need to be in your life more, because I have no one.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. It's like one-sided. Like, she has another you in a way, but you don't have another her.
Right.
And you have no one. So like, it's really just it's the most important one to have.
Yeah.
As well, right?
Yeah.
So let's try the end. And
Okay.
just like play with some other closing beats. Let's actually have a conversation after you finish speaking. We'll converse back and forth and see different choices. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm happy for you.
I'm happy for you.
You are,
Because all I've ever wanted is for you to be happy.
So, and keep saying, I want you to say, listen to me. Keep saying that until I listen. Like, see how that informs your line. Okay?
Okay. I'm happy for you.
No, you are
listen,
not.
Listen,
What? I can't. How can you?
Listen,
What?
all I've ever wanted is for you to be happy. It's just...
What?
I never thought I wouldn't be part of that happiness somehow.
I want you as part of that happiness. I want you somewhere in this happiness.
So do I. But things can never go back to what they were.
But we have to move on. This is what we wanted to.
I don't want to move on. I want us to have what we had, but we can't.
I can't. Yeah, I can't. So how can we have it be different, but still satisfy you?
I don't know.
What would that look like to you?
I just wish you would put more effort into it.
I think maybe like
Yeah.
Okay. I think what I need is like I need you to call me at least.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Let's make a promise. We
Oh, like
talk every
specifics.
day.
Okay.
Do you mean that'd be
Yeah.
like at
Yeah.
least once or twice a day? We're like connecting.
Right.
We're in the car and we're talking or whatever. We have our 5 minutes to like hook up.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
We're just gonna like touch base.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
that could be a compromise that at least would connect you all the time. It's not like 10,000 times a day.
Of
At least
course.
once a day we'll talk.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
I kind of have that with my best friend, Abby, where we're like, it's so stupid. You know, she lives in Santa Monica. I live here, but it's like we see each other like once a year.
Right.
It's ridiculous because she has a daughter. I mean, you know,
Of
husband,
course.
and it's one of those things. And I'm really busy, and it's like, and I love her. And every time we are together, we're like, oh my god. And
Yeah.
like it's dumb. We're both in LA, and we should be like Laverne and Shirley. We should be like once a week or something. We
Right.
all go to a movie together, or we all. But you know, everyone has their shit,
Yeah.
and it it's far. It is far to get there.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
and it's sad. And
Yeah.
years go by, years go by, years go by. And you're like, oh my god, I want to see you twice this year,
Mm-hmm.
and you're my best friend.
Yeah.
What is that?
Okay.
That would be my parallel.
Yeah.
Like I'd be talking to Abby.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
Good. So let's try that one more time.
All right. From the beginning.
Sure.
Okay.
And then we'll go on to the next model.
Okay.
So start with like let's read and let's up with stakes. Let's just experiment with like,
Okay.
oh please. Like if you start with like, oh please, we haven't been best friends for a while. Like
Mm-hmm.
water in the face, like reality check.
Right.
And
Okay.
it's totally like bullshit. You know, like I think that if it starts hotter,
Yeah.
then we can open it up. Like we were best friends when, oh god, I miss this. When we did this, and I really miss this, and I really miss that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can really go from anger and swing the pendulum to sadness and
Yeah.
vulnerability. When it starts with general kind of sarcastic attack rather than like,
Yeah.
you know, really like a stabbing attack, like a
Okay.
harpooning attack. Okay.
Okay. Right.
You know, you are my best friend. You're always gonna be my best
Oh,
friend.
really?
Yeah, you are.
We haven't been best friends for a while.
What? Don't
It is
smile.
so-
Don't smile.
It is so...
Start again.
Okay.
Nail me to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
You're always my best friend. You'll always be my best
Oh,
friend.
really?
Yeah, you're my best friend.
We haven't been best friends for a while.
What are you talking about?
It is so totally unfair to call me your best friend when
Why?
that is so clearly not the case.
Of course it is. Of
Who's
course
the first person you go to when you need someone? Right? Tony.
Well, he's my fiance. Of
We
course
were
I'm gonna
best
talk to him.
friends when we lived together, or we spent every weekend together, or when we talked multiple times every single day, and we don't do that anymore.
Well,
Not even close.
okay, because I'm
You wake
getting
up next to Tony.
Yeah, because
you fall
he's my
asleep
he's
next
my,
to Tony.
he's my fiance.
And when your mom pisses you off,
Yeah.
you call Tony.
well,
It's...
I don't know what to say. I mean,
But I haven't found someone to replace you. And all the things you got from all the things you got from our friendship,
yeah.
you got from Tony now. And
Well-
all the things I got, things I really need, I'm not getting them from anyone. And then you say I'm your best friend, and And it's so different. It's so different.
But
And I feel
what?
so alone, Laura. Your wedding,
Yeah.
it's my funeral.
Oh, great. So, like, this
No,
is...
no,
it's
listen.
really my night. How
Listen,
can you... What?
Listen, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. And all I've ever wanted is for you
To make that really real, like, get that through
Okay.
to me instead of it being like a concept.
Right.
Like, this is the truth. This is also absolutely the truth. This is always under everything.
Right.
So it's not like, oh, P.S. It's like, no, you have to get this, too.
Yeah.
Get this. Okay?
Okay.
Honestly.
Alright.
So, your wedding's my funeral.
Your wedding is my funeral.
Okay, that is it. You know, should I just go?
No,
because
no,
it's
listen,
like, you want to
listen,
go?
no.
I mean, what is this? How can you say this to me?
I'm
trying to
happy
listen
for
to you, but you're just attacking me and saying this
happy
shit to
for
me.
you. And all I've ever wanted is for you to be happy. It's just... I just never thought I wouldn't be part of that happiness somehow.
What can I do then?
I don't... Reach out to me more. You find the time to talk to me. I just feel I just don't have anybody. And you do.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's taking some really good shape. I would say the thing I really need is, like, if you choose to kind of smile through that line, kind of smile through that, it's got to be with tears in your eyes, because it's like it's the only way to not absolutely lose it in that line. Or drop the smile there and let yourself, because that's digging in the deepest to your grab bag of what your heart feels. Like, that is what you walk around with all the time, every day.
Yeah.
I'd love to call her right now. It's always going to her voicemail. She's never calling me back.
Right.
She's not texting me back. Or it's like 2 words back, but not in like, I need to talk to you. Can't now, babe. I'm getting, dinner with Tony. Or, I'm picking out a ring. I'm sorry. I'll call. Can I call you later? It's like think about the stuff that's like all the times you reached out, and it's been kind of not returned or delayed.
Yeah.
And feeling like you're not priority one, or even like, I'm gonna jump off the roof right now, LOL, nothing. And that would always be like an instant return.
Right.
Just think about it, so just think like that's a good thing to kind of know that's been that's what's underneath. That's a big key phrase too.
Okay.
Things I really need. Like, I'm even more present to it because I've been trying to reach out to you and it's not coming back.
Right. Okay.
So, maybe not smile on that line.
Yeah.
Or do it with, like, that's an interesting choice, like, I really need is, like, I'm about to cry, so I'm gonna try to lighten it, but then it gets me.
Right.
You can't just be light and never have it get you. That's interesting. Like, you try to not cry, and then it kicks you, and then you can go on. See what I'm saying? Like, I'm pushing down. I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying not to lose it right now and just tell you about it. But what's coming through, what's breaking through the kind of the mask of it's all okay or it's going to be fine, is the core feeling of absolute deep desertion, deep want, deep loneliness, deep abandonment.
Right.
Because that's underneath everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Really, really good work. That's a good exploration of that for now.
Yeah.
And let's go on to the next piece. We can start to saw our way through that. Okay. Any questions about kind of the shape that started to take?
No.
Good.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Good. Okay, let me go to start a new track. So each thing will be a new track, so you know where the next